Hello friends, welcome back to Jurnalaska. In this podcast episode, we have a very special guest who are part of the Australian-Indonesian Bridge School Partnership Program. Could you guess who it is? Well, let's welcome warmly Mr. Martin and Mrs. Lenny. Could you both please introduce yourself?
My name is Lenny, and I'm one of the teachers from Mereka College in Palmerston, Darwin. Nice to meet you.
And I'm Martin, and I'm also one of the teachers from Mereka in Darwin. Hello.
Could you tell us what kind of subject that you guys teach?
Yes, I teach French and English.
What about Miss Lenny?
I teach math and Indonesian.
Oh, you teach math?
Yeah.
Well, a big thank you to Mr. Martin and Mrs. Lenny for accepting our invitation of this Jurnalaska podcast episode today. May I ask both of you some of question?
Yeah, sure.
I hope you guys don't mind.
No, at all.
Well, let's dive into the first question. The first question is, what was Mr. Martin's response when you visited the senior high school to Batam?
Well, the first thing I saw was a welcoming poster for Mrs. Lenny and Mr. Martin Wallace, and I was quite astonished at that because I don't think we had a welcoming poster for our guests from Indonesia at Mereka Catholic College, so I was quite astonished and I was very pleased actually. Yeah.
We actually do wait for you guys for so long because it was actually quite a topic of the school.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry if we were late.
Not actually. Many people really want to meet you or at least talk to you guys.
Yes, I saw that.
Or even take a photo.
I saw that too.
Well, in your opinion though,
Yeah.
what are the most teenage these days that needed to understand its school?
Well, first of all, school is, it's there to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's the most important, the school subjects that they study and they study well.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, school is also a social occasion.
Yes.
And that's important too. So teenagers need some instruction about good behavior, whether that's bullying or whether that's anti-smoking or whatever. It's also necessary. But for me, number one is the subject itself, right? Teaching and learning.
Yeah. So knowledge is number one.
That's number one. That's the most important function of the school.
What about Miss Lenny?
I totally agree with Mr. Wallace there. I think school is a place where students can learn and make mistakes and improve on.
I understand. Then what is the purpose or benefits that this program get?
The Bridge program.
Yeah.
Well, it's an exchange for teachers, not for students. But yes, it's good for teachers to get out and to experience another culture and other ways of teaching and learning. So yeah, it's valuable for teachers, I think. Yes, that we can see how things are done in another country, for example.
Yeah, so the teacher can understand that, the students in Australia is different or like from the Indonesia or something like that.
I don't think so. I don't think the student is different.
They act the same?
IQs are the same. Intelligence is the same, and
Behavior?
no, of course, behavior is different because behavior is cultural.
Oh yeah.
But a subject, believe it or not, is not different. If you study a language, you study a language, and sure, there must be different approaches to it in different countries, and that's interesting to see. But for me, students are the same the world over.
Oh yeah. What about Miss Lenny? Miss Lenny is mathematics teacher, right?
Yep.
Is it any different?
like what Mr. Wallace was saying, the basics are the same.
Oh,
However, there are some different approach
yeah. Oh, yeah.
to the teaching and learning process in the classroom.
So, what about, for example, there's a question about mathematics. Is it kind of the same in Australia?
It is similar.
It's similar?
Yep, similar.
Oh my God.
The difference is one is in Indonesian and the other one is in English.
Oh, I never really guessed it. I thought like every country has different, like different subject, not different subject, but different, what is it? Different education. Like the question is different and everything else is different.
No, mathematics I think is quite universal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look, if an Indonesian engineer is building a bridge, you know, he has to build it efficiently, you know, using mathematics and using his knowledge, and that bridge has to be as strong as a bridge in Australia. So, well,
just different language and different
the
people.
subject, you know, he must have the knowledge and he must have the skill, just like an engineer in Australia.
Oh, so everyone is the same, just different language and different people, but overall there's not much different.
Yes, to do with the subject, yes, to do with
concept.
the learning.
The concept is the same.
But of course, behavior will
behavior.
change. Yeah.
Then what are the main challenges that Mr. Martin and Mrs. Lenny face during your experience in senior high school to Batang?
Ask Miss Lenny first.
Miss Lenny.
I think it
I think it's just because Mr. Martin doesn't know what to respond.
Oh.
No, he knows how to respond.
Well, I'm being polite.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Okay. Sorry, I've forgotten. What was the question again?
The question is, what are the main challenges that Mr. Martin and Mrs. Lenny face during you guys' experience in senior high school to Batang?
The challenges.
It's not
quite. I wouldn't call it as challenges.
Yeah.
Okay. I would call it as similarity and differences that we as Australian teachers accustomed to, all right, and I think the systems here is different as well, and you know that's your teachers are accustomed to the way they teach, right, and also the curriculum that they have, the content that they have to teach, and we have the same things over in Australia as well. So what I think would be something to think about for me, especially for me, I don't know, for Mr. Wallace as well, is, you know, how deep is the content of the curriculum actually influence the students' learning, okay? So that's what I found a bit intriguing, a bit interesting to think about. Okay, so how deep the content was influencing the students. So how well do they understand? All right, how well does the content delivered? All of that's main thing for me. I have to leave some for Mr. Wallace as well, who I think has plenty in his brain there to speak up.
I don't see a big challenge coming here.
That's right.
No, I don't see a big challenge because, you know, we are both teachers and we live in a school. Almost sometimes it seems like we live in a school.
Almost every day.
Yeah. And, you know, staff room, principal, classrooms, it's all the same. It's very familiar. And even student behavior. On Wednesday, I had the privilege of asking a young lady in the French class to put her phone away.
Oh yeah.
Which is exactly what I would be saying in Australia. So, can you see there's not much difference. There's not much difference. It's just approaches to the subject and approaches to learning. These are the real challenges. Yeah.
So the difference is not the country, but people. If people want to study, they just...
That's it. There's a big difference there. Yeah.
So you told me that after visiting some of the class, what is your opinion of the students now?
Well, they are very warm, of course. Yes, you know that.
Yeah.
They're
They're
very
friendly.
warm and welcoming, just like everybody, just like the staff as well. And well, that's really a nice feeling for a visitor. Yeah, it's really nice. That made her give us a happy time, I would say. Yeah.
Really?
Do you agree, Miss Lenny?
Well, I totally agree with you, Mr. Wallace. It makes us feel very, very special.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
That's, the way you welcome us is just something that we haven't really experienced it anywhere else. Okay.
Since a long time, or
Since a long time, I think we have forgotten what
Yeah.
what it's like to be respected and welcomed and embraced in a place where we have never been before.
oh, so it's really fresh for you guys, like
Yeah,
really fresh to the eye.
That's right. It's just amazing, isn't it?
Amazing. Yeah.
What about are there plans for this program to do teacher exchange again?
I don't think Bridge will allow that. I think they would want new teachers every time. But certainly, I thought I might come back. I was talking to Pak Basuki, the French teacher,
Yeah.
and I was talking to the principal last night. I asked them about the university examinations, since they become very important now that the government has cancelled the final school examinations,
Yeah.
which is something I find very strange. However, I have a vacation around about that time when the university examinations are coming, so I asked Pak Basuki to talk to the principal and see, maybe I'll come back for a week to do some,
Trip?
well, not for the trip, to spend a week and do some intensive English with the year 12 students just before the exam, if
To
it's
help
possible.
them.
Yeah,
I hope it to happen though.
I hope so. Yes.
And with Miss Lenny too?
Well, I don't think Mr. Wallace wants me to come with him. Yeah, I do have that conversation with Pak Sugeng, the principal, and also some of the teachers, other teachers, about the possibility of coming back here, using my own time and my money. Because I think it's really, I am so impressed with everything. I'm so impressed with Smanda. I'm really impressed, and I would love to one day come back, with my own children.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's right. To show them what it's like.
School in
what
another
it's like to be Indonesian students.
Oh,
Alright.
yeah.
I think that would be a great experience for them. Because they were born in Australia.
Yeah, but actually they are actually Indonesian too, right? But they never really experience it.
They are Australians. They were born in Australia.
Oh, I thought they were Indonesian but moved to Australia.
No, they were born in Australia.
That's, I really want to see your children so much and probably get to know them or be friends with them.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not here anymore when that happened.
Well, we can always keep in touch.
I used to. What about any message or things you guys want to say to the students and to the teachers in senior high school to Batang?
Wow.
For the last message,
For the teachers, they're fine. Just keep doing what you do. They're working very hard. I can see it. For the students, I do have a word. Yeah. I think sometimes they have to I don't want to say take the subject more seriously, but they have to apply themselves hard. Yeah. When I was in the French class and the English class, and I asked some questions and so on, it was very hard to get answers. Now, probably, students are a bit shy and so on, a strange foreign teacher and big mustache and I don't know. And almost bald, but Pak Basuki is the same, so that's not a problem, right? But when I asked some questions about language, I'm not sure it was shyness. I'm sure, students did not know sometimes, and they should know. They should know. They should be professional. They should make it their job to, if you study a language, you learn vocabulary, you learn structure, you just build yourself in the language. And it's really like Lego, Lego. If you play, you can build and build and build, and that's the way it goes, In the end, you have a castle, and it takes a long time.
But it's worth it, though.
Yeah, it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I hope the students think it's worth it too. But they need to actually sit down and learn words, for example. Yeah. So I try to show them some ways to learn vocabulary, to memorize, to do these things. Yeah. So for the students, they're beautiful people, but they must take their subject seriously. Yes. That's my message.
I totally agree with you about that.
Thank you.
What about Miss Lenny?
Well, I totally agree with Mr. Wallace there, and I think the teachers are awesome. They are awesome. They work so hard. They tried their best to give their students the best opportunity to get to achieve their full potential. Unfortunately, some students, not everyone, some students actually did not take that opportunity. They did not appreciate all of those, and they need to remember their future is in their own hands. Okay, it's not in the teacher's hands, not in their parents' hands. It's in their own hands. If they want to have live comfortably, then they must put in the hard work now. Okay, so get rid of the phone. If the teacher said no, listen to the teacher. All right, pay attention to the board. Do their homework.
Yeah.
Yes, and also try to overcome shyness.
Oh,
I say, because, sometimes the world is a hard place, When they go to a company, they might have to give a presentation, talk to other people, co-workers or bosses or people below them even, and they have to express themselves well. So it begins in school. They must. Shyness is really, it's beautiful in a way, but
it cannot stay forever.
Students are not being rude or anything. It's really good, but they need to push themselves to express themselves in classroom. So if they think they know an answer, they should say. They should be in a discussion with the teacher. Even if the answer is wrong, the teacher will correct them. So what? That's the job of a teacher. That's the job of education, But pushing yourself and not being rude. It's not rude. In a school environment, that is the thing to do, right? That is actually polite in a school environment, and does not look bad to the teacher or anybody. And it's good for you, especially in a language class, when you have to also express yourself, not just learn a word and lock it inside your head. You have to use the word and perhaps speak. So yes, that's really my advice.
That was really a good advice from both of you. I literally learned a lot right now.
I'm glad.
Now I have the last question.
Last question.
What is your guys' overall experience?
Oh, I have to answer first.
That's right.
Overall experience of Indonesia or SMA to Batam?
SMA to Batam.
Of the school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said some things, but overall, I'm impressed, and actually, I told the principal also I'm impressed by the principal. Because I think a principal is very important for a school, very important. And well, you know, I've been teaching in many schools, maybe 10, 15 different schools,
Whoa, that's
high
a lot.
schools, yeah, all over the world. And the principal can make a big difference in the life of the school. And I think the principal at SMA too is a good principal. Overall,
I am, I can sense the vibe, like what Mr. Wallace said. Okay, the vibe is quite a positive vibes. You know, in the staff room, in classes. So the interaction between the principal and the staff and the students and the teachers and the students and to the principal, to me, it feels like it's a natural things to do, like, you know, and the vibe is really, really positive. So I think that's what makes Manda has a big impression on me, and I'm pretty sure on Mr. Wallace as well, because, you know, that's what kind of we are craving for. Okay, and so and we would love to see that translate to students' achievement as well later on, because if the teachers are happy, you know, the students are happy, surely with the hard work, okay, from both sides, then we can see that Manda becomes the best school in the whole Indonesia, if possible.
Oh my God. I hope
Okay.
so. Thank you so much for Mr. Martin and Mrs. Lenny for taking your time for this Jurnalaska podcast episode today. Thank you for the students who have listened to this podcast. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I Keira bid you farewell and see you next time. Bye bye.
Manda, bye bye.